friends and family, and welcome to the Down East Players Cup, presented by Gatekeeper Media. This is a PDGA A tier. We are here at the ECU course in Greenville, North Carolina, and I'm Holly Finley.
And I'm Whitney Graham. And we're heading into the back nine.
Yes, we are.
I feel like there's possibly more scoreable holes, but it's a tough one. We have Megan sitting in first place with a 1 over par, Holly with 2 over par, and Deanne with 3 over par. So it's still a pretty tight race. We got some make or break holes coming up, so we're pretty excited about it. So this is hole 10, par 3, 316 feet, and it's honestly, I feel like it's a soft backhand turnover shot, something that's going to give you a nice little fade back to the left. Or you could possibly try to get sneaky with a forehand and kind of push through the gap, but honestly, you just want to get something that's going to slide up to the basket to possibly give you a look. I feel like it plays farther than 316.
You know what? I could say that for every hole out here. And I don't know if I just wasn't having the full sins this weekend or what, but all the holes felt really long. And I threw a Roadrunner, turned over a little early, but you know what? It's in the open and I'm looking at the basket.
Exactly. And Deanne with a beautiful drive just goes right through the fairway, and yes, that is exactly what you're looking for.
It is. She gets way down there.
And it was really windy up by
was.
the basket, so that's something you have to keep an eye on whenever you get down there. And Elaine pushes through and hits one of the last trees coming out the gap, but I think she'll still have a look towards the basket for a good up. And Megan also with a nice turnover. Yes, and it flattens out and stays right there. So she'll be looking to be able to pitch it up.
I mean, you look at the distance at 314, we really should all be in the circle, but I don't know. I feel like this plays longer than 314, 316.
And Megan with a beautiful little forehand flick up there. Hey, there it is.
What was it?
I think she said AVR X3.
Okay. Little jumper into the green.
Great approaches here. And does Deanne have a look? Possibly. Oh, man.
That was a close one.
And Elaine's going to have to straddle out from this tree. Give it a little, oof, just a little bit too much Annie on it.
There it is. Come back for Bogue. That one got away from her. D taps in for her par.
And this hole played about 0.75 over par. So I feel like it's a gettable hole. It's just finding the right angle and the perfect disc to be able to kind of navigate through those trees.
100%. Megan with an easy drop in. She's so good with those little side hand chip shots. She doesn't leave herself with much of a putt most of the time. That's a good skill to have. Here we go, hole 11, 347 feet. This is a unique hole because it has this circle. The first sand circle you see is actually playing as a hazard. Obviously, the sand circle that the basket is in is not a hazard. So you really want to find something that'll at least make it past that first hazard sand circle, land in bounds, and give yourself a putt. During practice, I noticed, depending on the wind, that was really going to choose whether I was throwing the right side hyzer or this turnover line. And at the last minute, the wind shifted, so I decided to go with the Shrike turnover.
And that's a great drive. And it's one of those things where you kind of have to make that decision, you know, do you want to go for over the sand lot, or do you want to just go short of it? Really depends on what your distance is, but you guys have those amazing backhand turnovers that just skip right up. The fact that you're making it into the sand is...
Deanne showing me up,
it's
getting
an
way in
amazing
there.
shot.
I like that you called it a sand lot. That's one of my favorite childhood movies.
Yes.
Megan punching one through. She's made it halfway there. Oh, and you can see
Elaine is going to go the sneaky goat?
And I like this when the wind is right for it.
You know, the first time I saw that was I played a round with Schwebby, and that is the route that he took.
Okay.
Megan with a forehand. Oh, it's leaking out to the right a little bit.
Yeah, it needed a little more sauce on that one. See if Elaine can get it in the circle. Come on, get left. And that'll give herself a par putt. Now, this is a long one for par. Come on, Megan.
Oh my goodness. That was tracking so nicely.
Wasn't that nice, like, distance control, too?
Yes.
Just
and
enough
that wind,
gas to get right to the
yes.
basket.
Oof. All right, Deanne. It's our last look at birdie.
Deanne
Great
Carey.
job. That is amazing. And Deanne is the only one who carded the birdie.
Good job, Dee. Elaine King for par. That was a little low out of the hand.
Yeah.
Probably because of the headwind, she was aiming a little lower. So she'll be tapping in for a bogue. And are you throwing a sidearm off the tee here? What are you doing?
So it kind of depends on the wind. I worry with the sidearm that I'm not going to get the distance to make it up and over. So sometimes I'll just bail something out to the right.
That makes
on
sense.
a backhand turnover. So. And we're all knotted up at the top at +2. Great job, Holly, Deanne, and Megan.
Thank you.
Discover Greenville, North Carolina, where we put whole hog Q on the map and inspiration lives on every corner. Unplug for a moment of tranquility or enjoy one of our parks, fields, greenways, or trails. Then recharge with fresh, local flavors, one-of-a-kind art galleries, and toe-tapping music. North Carolina's Emerald City is filled with countless hidden gems. Find yours in Greenville, North Carolina.
All right, hole 12. This is a par 4, so this is another one of the holes that we did a combination of 2 holes. Honestly, you just want to put something out to the right to hyzer in before that tree so that you have a straight look down the fairway. This is one that I feel like it's 2 huge shots. You're really trying to get it out there, and then just having approach up to the basket. You know, it's a tough hole. It's once again at ECU, it's throw as far as you can and just try to make sure you land in the fairway. So we have Deanne on the box. She's taking the high hyzer. Can she get around the tree? Nope, just hits the clip. But she's still in a good place. She's still away from the base of the tree, so she'll have a look down the fairway. And Holly's going out far and wide, which is still a good play because you'll still have a look up the fairway.
Megan
also
she puts a great move on that, landing right in front of me. Here comes Elaine King to hang out.
And Deanne is looking straight down the fairway So she's still in a pretty prime position.
In this light, Deanne's hair looks red. Welcome to the fam, Dee. And that's a fine shot. You know, this is a par 4.
And that wind is just ripping. So you see you guys are kind of off.
We went too
the
far.
Right. Yes, you guys are off to the right side. So you guys are going to have to do an Annie kind of around.
It looked okay off the tee, but I didn't play this hole enough times to realize that you can go too far and be out of position.
But those are still great positions to be in. You're now looking down at the gap, for a good approach, so. Ooh, Megan gets a little wind play on that, but luckily the stability of the disc brings it back.
All right, Megan for her 3rd shot.
And it's still a good little distance up there. It's not an easy shot because it is surrounded by trees, and Megan puts it right inside the circle.
That was so good.
Yes.
I've been working on my sidearm, so I know what kind of shot that was. It's a good touch.
And Deanne puts it in the bullseye. Very nice, Deanne. Elaine following suit, and she's also inside the circle. And as do you. Very nice, ladies.
All right, we've got Megan Goldsby for par.
Woo!
Great putt.
Elevator goes down. Very
She's a
nice.
good putter. This is my first time playing with her, and it's always fun to see the skill set of people I'm not familiar with.
She's very consistent. Great job, Elaine.
It was in the basket, just.
And you're putting it in for par. And there were no birdies on this hole. It played as a 4.5, so 0.5 over par. So
It's like you said at the beginning, it's really 2 perfect drives to get a birdie up. Hole 13, 361 feet, par 3. This is tricky, okay, because it's a late turn. You know, if you want to actually get towards the basket, you have to throw it straight for, let's say, 320, and then you have to start turning to the right, which is tough for me. I prefer for this hole just to throw straight and finish barely left, but really just a straight shot as far as you can get would be the most ideal for me. The last thing you want to do is get behind this giant tree right at the corner. And look at this shot from Deanne. That's pretty much perfect.
And she threw it literally, like you said, straight.
Yep.
That's all you want is just throw it straight underneath that bush, kind of to the left side. And you do the same thing, except you're a little bit over to the side, which is still great. That's perfect.
Yeah, that should be okay.
Don't.
Still sand on there.
And Elaine puts it out to the center of the fairway, gets beautiful skip action on that beautiful green.
Look how beautiful these fairways
Right?
are. Like, I can't
And
get over
isn't
this
even,
grass,
What's
dude.
amazing is this isn't even the best it's ever looked as far as, the grass and stuff. So,
Such a, like, country club feel.
yes.
Megan chips a sidearm up, and that was really helpful from that bush. So she'll actually be more out into the fairway instead of stuck underneath it.
Stop.
And Elaine goes
Throwing every basket. I don't understand.
Working out.
She says, why do I keep overthrowing every basket?
Sidearms, I wouldn't overthrow.
So you wouldn't overthrow it?
I know what it is. It's because me and Elaine are used to playing in the woods. Now you get us out here in the open, we just can't tell how far anything is. That's what's going on, Elaine. So I'm just trying to get it as close as possible. I wouldn't really call that a putt.
And Deanne, she have a look? Yes, Deanne has a look. Just a little bit low.
Elaine, long par comeback. Let's go, Elaine.
I just absolutely love her little Annie putts.
It doesn't matter if you overthrew the basket, Elaine.
When you
'cause you're
putt
gonna
like
make
that.
the putt.
Exactly. Megan puts an easy putt in for bogey. But that's a great scrambling, you know, when you hit an early tree like she did. And Deanne puts it in for par.
Deanne's such a quick player. Like, she takes 0 time to execute.
Get in and get out. Very nice. Cleaning it up for par. All right, we have Holly and Deanne sitting at +2 and Megan at +3 and Elaine is at +7. Hole 14, it is 617 foot par 4. I have seen some people try to go down the right side gap, which is where I'm seeing the drone is, but most people have been kind of hyzering out to the left and then just playing something up the left-hand gap. But it's all about your own personal preference. I feel like the other way doesn't have quite as many trees, but you know, you just want to make sure that you're keeping it in the fairway and leaving yourself with hopefully an approach to the basket.
Deanne Carey up first, opting for the left side route. Now, in practice, I took the right gap only.
Okay.
All right, so that's how I planned on playing it until I saw Deanne go left. And all of a
Okay.
sudden, I normally don't do this, but I
Made the
changed my
choice.
game plan and my disc. So now I've swung way out to the left side, and I have no idea what it looks like over there. I'm just improvising at the moment. And Elaine has never played here, so she was basically playing she was playing the course blind.
Okay.
So she was asking us, you know, where's the basket, where's a good spot to land. So she's kind of just following suit.
And Megan with a beautiful drive. That's exactly what you want. And if hyzering out there on the left-hand side, it's a great place to be because you can still look kind of down the fairway towards the basket. And Elaine's going to go this right side gap. And yep, she makes it up and she'll be looking down towards the basket.
And I've landed in a perfect position with a fairway that goes all the way to the basket.
Beautiful shot. Yes, ma'am. Stop it.
I did it.
That is amazing.
It was all a surprise because
Especially when you weren't planning that.
Exactly.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was, I mean, of course, I'd say half skill, half luck, but thanks, Deanne, for showing me the left side route because
Yes.
I did not plan on that.
And I've never tried the right side gap. I've always gone the left side gap, so.
So if we play this course next year, I'll probably be going left again.
Left.
Deanne getting an upshot all the way into the
Is she
green.
into the green?
Heck yeah, so she'll have a putt for birdie.
And this is a beautiful green. I
It
love how they
is.
place the basket. It's just kind of picturesque right here.
It is. Yeah, I wasn't sure if I would like this course because it felt like a ball golf open windy course, but now that I've played it, it was so much fun.
It's a lot more challenging. It's more wooded than what you would expect. Looking at it, yes, it looks kind of like a ball golf, but it also looks like it's made for disc golf.
Megan chips a perfect shot right under the basket, and here we have Deanne Carey for birdie.
Oh no, that one just caught the bottom of the plate and just pushed it to the left. And she taps in, and par is great here. Par
It
is a really good score on this one. And you're stepping up with a 15 foot maybe, or was it
Yeah.
farther? Kind of
Let's say about
with the
15.
birdie. That's amazing.
Yeah,
You
that-
played that hole perfectly.
That was a good surprise bird.
Yeah, you were the only one that that got the birdie on the day. So
Oh, wow.
great job.
Thank you. That was a very fun hole to play.
And that hole was actually playing under par at 3.88. It's one of the really few holes, actually probably the only hole that played under par.
All right, hole 15, a par 3, 393 feet. On this current card, we don't have anyone that can throw 393. So we'll be just getting as far as we can and hopefully having an easy little chip shot into the green and getting ourselves a par and walking on to the next one. There's not really out of bounds here that we'll be worrying about much. So it's kind of just an open playing field, you know, get as close as you can.
You really want to make it into the shaded area up there. As long as you're up and into that tree line, you'll have a good approach.
I like how low Deanne keeps her shot, getting a lot of ground
skip.
action.
Wow. And Elaine, yes, pushing that right side and giving it a good skip up there.
I love that shot.
Megan also putting into shaded areas right where you want to be.
I say that's 4 solid drives. She just makes that look too easy, like she can just do it with her eyes closed.
And Elaine
Look
says,
at
oh, I
Elaine.
can do it too.
Right? What versatility she's showing. And Deanne?
Deanna also. Are we going to see...
Welcome to the party. Don't be counting on me to do this now, okay?
Oh, and you weren't too bad. I mean, if you were looking at it from there, that's great. Yes, Elaine. Great job.
All right, a par for Elaine and a par for Megan. Par for Deanne. If I get a par, what are we going to have?
Oh, star par.
Party.
Party. There it is.
And a star par.
And a star
Star par party.
What? There it is.
Okay.
And these next 2 holes are tough holes, and we're pretty knotted up top. It's only a couple strokes difference, but these next 2 holes can really make a difference. So this is a par 3, 346 feet. I probably should have played this with a forehand, but you can do the backhand turnover. It's a little bit far. I feel like it plays farther than 346 feet. And actually where the drone is flying to is not where the actual pin location is. If you look over there to the left, there's a little stump, and that's actually where the pin was placed during this tournament. So it plays pretty far. It's a tough get.
And I wasn't too worried about getting a birdie putt, more so worried about staying in bounds.
Yes. So that road on the right-hand side plays as OB. So you really want to make sure that you... Oh, great tree. Great tree. And you want to make sure that you don't turn it over too much and end up into the OB. And Elaine does a great job. Honestly, if you're ending up in those trees, you'll have a look up for a great approach.
Man, that looked like an ultimate throw.
Yes, and Megan salsas it and puts it right, yes, now she's looking right down at the basket.
She's got some good distance.
We have Deanne up first. Just a beautiful little floaty putt right up to the stump. And Elaine looks like she put it short, possibly.
And remember, before she was saying, why do I keep overthrowing everything? So she probably, in her mind, took a little bit off of that.
And Megan with the birdie bid. And you're also putting it up close to the basket.
Yeah, I've learned this thing. It's called laying up.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
You know, you don't actually have to run everything.
Oh, Elaine.
As Elaine King tries to make up for that par putt, Deanne sneaks her par in.
Very nice. Megan puts it in for par. And so does Holly. Great job, ladies. Lane is tapping out her bogey.
I'm pulling out my phone because I offered to do the PDGA live scoring, and we now have a PDGA app for that. So please go download the app. It's great, and get you and one of your card mates to do it so you can have two scores going on at the same time. And here we are, hole 17. Oh, this is a tricky one.
Yes.
Par 4, 531 feet. You do see this ditch out of bounds. You see this other ditch out of bounds, and the ditch behind that also out of bounds. So basically you want to have a good placement shot off the tee. Now if you're in a good spot, then you can attack the green. If you're not in a good spot, you're going to want to lay up again and play it for par. I'm trying to get as close to the edge of this ditch as I can get, so my upshot is as short as it can be.
And that's exactly how you want to play the hole. Swing it out wide, but not too wide where you're into the ditch line. And
Deanne gets that a little wide,
but she's okay. That's still in a great position.
it's also hard to see how close you are to the edge from the tee. Megan puts one out there, also in a great spot. And Elaine King puts that Annie on it, and it's going.
Oh, sit.
No left finish, and it just went right into the OB ditch. So now she's throwing 3. Because it's a little too far in an awkward angle, she's opting for laying up again. That's called smart golf.
Yes. And it
Now,
looks like Megan's going for it.
She looked at me and she said, "Screw it, I'm going for it."
Let's go.
And boom, look at this. Look at this.
Wow. Great shot, Megan.
It doesn't get any better than that.
Oh, wow.
So I bushnelled it. It was about 250 into the green. I'm looking for something that'll chop and bite.
And that's good, because I was just about to say, oh, please don't skip, because that OB to the left is pretty tight.
And Deanne went with the Toro, so a lot of different choices in the disc here to get it over and into the green.
You guys played this perfectly. Very nice, ladies. And Elaine, the great approach. That looks good. Nice. Elaine, so you didn't ever shoot that one. Oh. And it looks close there, but it's not. You're right there by the OB line, which is, circle's edge.
Ooh, Deanne
Very
Carey.
nice, Deanne.
Sneaking in a birdie putt here on hole 17. And now I've got a comeback for par. Get in there.
And par is still good on this hole. Birdie would be nice, but you know what? You got to be happy with a par.
You're right. And Megan sneaking a birdie in there. Little thank you tap to the basket. And that's a good bogey save from Elaine. She played it smart after she went out of bounds. And the wind's picking up here as we roll into the last hole.
All right, we're heading into hole 18. This is a par 4, 858 feet, and it is tough. You really want to keep it away from this pond. Honestly, it took me about 3 solid shots just to get up to not this point and throwing over because that headwind was raging, but past the next set of trees and then pitching over. Honestly, I play this as a 5, and I feel like I'm birdieing even with a 5. So you just kind of want to play it out there, and there is OB on the left, and obviously the pond plays as OB.
This is really a good finishing hole. Do I love it? I'm not sure, but it is a good finishing hole.
And Deanne gets a skip. Is she? I can't tell if she's OB there.
She is.
Okay,
She unfortunately did skip out of bounds. And Megan, smart. She keeps it low.
Yes.
Keeping it low is key. Very good shot off
Beautiful
of
shot.
18. And I'm trying to do the same thing. I just want to keep it low and in the middle. Oop, it's getting away from me. And you know what? There's out of bounds right there. On the right side, there's a line.
Oh, no.
I didn't know that existed
I
until
don't think I
got
paid
over
attention
there.
to it.
Same thing. So Elaine's going over there where I was. And we said the same thing. We walked up and we were about a foot or two from the OB line.
Oh, okay. Yes. So the thing is how people used to play it before is they would play across the pond to that side of the water and then pitch across.
Gotcha.
And Elaine, she leaking out towards the OB. Nope, she's good.
She's good. So I am in a really awkward angle here. I'm just going to go for trying to keep it in bounds. That's
Yes.
really all I'm worried about.
And landing right there by that electrical box it's about 400 feet from, from the tee pad just to that electrical box. So
I measured it across the water from there, and it's about 390 to 4 as well.
yes.
So. Now Deanne is now throwing 3, so she's looking for a positioning shot. If she can get close enough to the water's edge, she could go over. But she's safe.
Yep, and that's all you're asking for is you just want to end up almost to the left of those trees right there on the right-hand side. And Elaine is also putting it in perfect landing zone. And nice little Annie forehand. Get the full flex.
Hopping over Elaine.
There we go. And Megan says, I'm coming to join y'all.
I can't even tell you the last time I threw 2 sidearms in a row on the same hole. So Deanne is looking just to get as close as she can to the edge because now it's time to go over the pond into the green.
And if you're making it to those trees, I feel like it's gettable, but it's a smash. Deanne lets it rip. Yes, ma'am.
Perfect.
Great job, Deanne.
Perfect execution.
And you see that flag blowing. It is just ripping left to right. Megan also puts it up there. Give me a push. Give me a push. Yes. And that's all you want. Honestly, just landing on the green up there, you're happy.
Elaine with a nice straight shot at
very
it.
nice. And she just skips right up there.
Perfect.
Yes, ma'am. Great shot. I mean, you guys are making this hole look easy. Now, technically, it is saying that it's a par 4. But they will be looking at the numbers from this tournament and kind of making some changes for next year. So it's real promising. So we have Megan. Gives it a little bit up there.
I'll be putting for a 5.
Oh. And Deanne puts it in for a double bogey.
Ooh, solid putt
And
from
Elaine
Elaine.
is also putting it in for bogey.
I do not recommend the angry slamming putt, by the way. I do not recommend that. And Megan with the double.
And this played as a 2.5 over par.
It's a tough
It's
one.
definitely not a par 4.
It is a very hard 4.
It is. It is. It definitely should be a par 5 with us, or possibly having another pad, maybe shorter.
And that was the ECU course. I thought overall it was really fun. My first time playing it. Super enjoyable, challenging. I would like to get some more birdies, add a little distance to my game. And after all of that, it's still a really tight race with
Yes.
Deanne in the lead. So tomorrow is going to be a surprise.
Yes, we'll be back at the meadow and back in the woods and seeing who can finish it out. So make sure you guys like, follow, subscribe, do all the fun stuff. Ace Run Pro Productions, we really appreciate the opportunity, and we'll see you guys on the next one.